Hello, my name is Gary. We are having live weekday ukulele chats. You should come join us every weekday and rock out with us. The website, Jolly Roger Ukulele, has every possible thing you could ever want to know. And it's getting ever more complicated as a website. And so it's actually got a lot of great stuff on there, all for free. So go check it out. If you are just joining us for the recording, which obviously you are since you're watching this now, we will start in, well, let's call it 5 minutes. It's 101 right now. I was doing good with timing. And then all of a sudden I'm 1 minute late. I don't know why. So we'll start at 106. So it'll be 5 minutes. So just fast forward through that, unless you want to hear me greet everybody as they walk into the building. Sit down, get their ukuleles warmed up and ready to rock. Over on the website, we also have baritone ukulele, guitar, harmonica. I mean, it's awesome. It's a great place to come and be, and you should join us. Let's see who's all walking in here. Cat, my teeth are fine. I ended up, in the before time with COVID, I had scheduled my regular cleaning, and normally back I wouldn't have like normally I was like, well, it's a Monday, whatever. I don't have anything to do on Mondays anyways. And then all of a sudden now I have lots to do on Mondays because of you guys. And I found it on my calendar. I'm like, uh-oh. And so it's just too late to change it and all this stuff. So I just went today and I'm absolutely lovely. And apparently I'm doing a good job cleaning my teeth. So he says, you don't need to see the dentist if you don't want to. And I'm like, I do not want to. I will take the cleaning and I will run away. So that's how things went today. Thanks for asking, Kat. I'm good. Let's see. By the way, guys, we'll start with summertime today. So if you want to pull out your stuff, we'll start from the bottom of the list and go up this week instead. Hey, Vic, welcome in. Renee, aloha. Nice bright colors. It's Bronco Day. Go Broncos. I know, right? I'm so mad at them. Honestly, I've grown up with them. They are a very struggle, challenging team to be supportive of, and but today's Monday Night Football, so here I am being all Bronco forward. Let's see. Clean teeth, dude. My God. I know, right? Now that we're harmonica players, we got to have extra. We got to make sure to make our 6 month appointments. I was asking the hygienist. I says, "How are you guys doing?" And she said, "Well, it was pretty crazy because they were closed for 2 months." And she says, "You know, all those people, we still have to get them all caught up." And she says, "So we've been on long hours doing a lot of catch up on teeth." And I was like, "Jeez, I can't imagine being a hygienist under like under ideal perfect conditions and then to be under all this additional stress. It's just uh, crazy." So anyway, no, I'm all set for the next 6 months. uh, hey, Sandy, welcome in. Barbara, good to see you. Pauline, I keep seeing the air quality in San Francisco. Brutal. So sorry you guys are having to deal with that. um, oh, Christine, you got your waterman. Did you get that from Jody? She was getting rid of a bunch of watermans. Got my waterman ready. Um, Watermans are these plastic ukuleles. They don't sound that great, but they're super fun because they're just like you can they're sort of indestructible. And I got a couple of them here. And they're not rushing off the shelves. Let's see, Lindy, howdy, good to see you. I know. I apologize about harmonica. We'll play twice as fast tomorrow, and then we'll get caught up. Happy Monday, yeah, Jacqueline, hello. I was in driving around in the car, working on Over the Rainbow. I think it'll work. I think it'll work. I'm gonna type it up this week. I think we'll be able to get it into harmonica. So it's so weird, when you only have this many notes. It's hard. So many songs you think, yep, this one's gonna be it. This one's gonna work, and then you're like, ugh. There's this low B, or well, I guess they have a low B. It's more of the upper notes you run out of. Let's see, Diane. Diane sent me a recording this weekend of her Sunday in the Park ukulele group that she's running, and they sounded amazing. Good job, Diane. Excellent work on that. Terry, hello, howdy. Denver, we're doing pretty good today. We're going to be 90 degrees today, and the air quality's gone way up from compared to what it was. Fires are still going a little bit, but well enough to cause some pretty serious damage. But it's not blowing into town quite as bad as it was. So we're doing fine. Sunny and beautiful in Conifer. Conifer's a little town up on the side of the hill here, just absolutely beautiful. When I grew up, Conifer was a gas station. Now it's a whole thing. So let's see. Oh, Christie's glows in the dark. Yeah, I forgot to mention if your ukulele does not glow in the dark, you're messing up. Let's see. Linda, hello from Sacramento. Uh, oh, from Sacramento, Kaiser. I'll give you this. You probably have the sound turned off. Um, uh, yeah, it. Well, Linda's also dealing with. She's out there in Sonoma, and I know they're dealing with the smoke out there as well. So glad you're here, Linda. If you can hear me, um, checking air quality is still very bad in Oregon. News says, yeah, Clay. I saw that. I was like, this morning they said Portland has the worst air quality on Earth. And I'm like, oh, that is not good. Because, I mean, you're up against Shanghai. Shanghai, remember when they had the Olympics there? Was it Shanghai? When they had the Olympics and they had to shut down all the industry for the 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it was to have the Olympics because the air quality is so horrid there. Oh, God. Unbelievable. What in the world is this? What are we doing? All right, guys, we got to move a little bit quickly this week. We have 10 songs still I want to review. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 songs I want to review this week. I want to start at summertime and go up. That way, if we end up falling short of one day, we'll just do the arpeggiator in G live on Friday. But so I'd like to do two a day is my goal, and we'll start from the bottom of the list and go up. So today we're going to do summertime, and we're going to do Moon River, and that should get us going in the right direction for the week. So if you'll grab your summertime out, that'd be awesome. Hey Jack, hey Barb, welcome in. Amy's in the house. First Amy in the house. Nice. Glad you're here, Amy. Not often she gets to come join us. It's exciting. Yeah. So summertime is today. Summertime here in the northern hemisphere is coming to an end, but those of you in the southern hemisphere, you're going to be groovy. Okay. And this song is always good, even in the middle of winter. So we'll do this. George Gershwin knew a tiny bit about playing music and writing music, and he was awesome. This is at the time would have been well, it was part of the. I'm going to speak English now. This was from the Broadway show called Porgy and Bess, which is rarely performed these days because of the racial stereotypes in there. But the music in it is phenomenal. And so it's one of those really hard situations where George Gershwin was probably quite a progressive for his day. But, you know, as we look back on it now through the haze of history, it doesn't sit very well with us in modern times. But this song itself, I think there's so much awesome about this song. You know, there's a young person who's been overly doted upon by his or her parents, and we can kind of relate to that these days a little bit, I think. So let's talk about the chords. I'm not going to sing them because you got to really be able to sing to do that one. But let's talk about the chords and a few fascinating things. This song only works if you use these weird chords. And so a lot of times when we're newer to ukulele or we're just getting started in the music business, we don't necessarily love weird chords because they sound wrong and because they're harder to play, and a lot of things where we try to steer away from them. And then we get to something like this, written by one of the great composers of all time, and it's full of all these weird wonky chords. And our first thought is, that's a lot of work. I don't know if I want to do that, but you got to have them in order to make this sound right. Summertime strong, and the living is easy. That's so weird that those sounds are all working together. So we want to be able to do those as instrumentalists. Okay, so you start off with your E minor. I've told you guys before. This was a lot of everybody has their chord that they fight, right? Most everybody, it's B flat. But for me, it was E minor. I could not get it, and so summertime. And now with this B augmented, usually the easiest thing is going to be just to put those two, just drag these two like this, and then flip them over. Doesn't that sound cool? That's a very, very cool song chord on ukulele. And then we can switch to the G chord. And the living is easy. So there's a lot of motion that's going to go on here, but it's fairly compact and it's kind of reachable. So hopefully that's going to make sense for you. Then we go way far away to this A minor, and I would probably recommend grabbing it with your index finger and then sliding it back to get this E plus, E augmented chord. Catfish are jumping. Again, that sounds wrong, but that's what you got to have to get the weirdness underneath that part of the song. Catfish are jumping, A minor 7. And the cotton is B chord is just a B flat on the wrong, on the second on this thing. It's really A shape. Slide up to put a bar on 2. High. Now I have given you the open C, but you ought to think about just using your bar chord up and back. High. Okay, you see that? You've got your B chord. If you slide it up 1, it becomes a C chord. So most pros, most people with some sound in there. However, if you're just singing this, you may not want to do that much work. But I'm not sure the other way is less work. And the music is high. Okay, so you got to take it all the way out, put your C on it, and put it back. So probably just sliding that up. You might make yourself a note. The B's here, C's right next to it, and then slide it back. Okay, and the open C works pretty good in the tough U, so that's why I put it there. And I always, not always, but almost always give you the easiest chord shape on the chords and lyrics line, because my assumption is if you're using that chords and lyrics line, you're probably a singer, and with singers we don't necessarily need the most complicated form of any chord or the most correct form of it. We just need what we can get to easily and conveniently, what we're used to. We don't want to put a ton of energy into playing the chords because we're putting a ton of energy into singing. Okay, so there's your B or your B. And then B7, remember, just pull this finger off. Now B7 creates the tension to go back into it, the next idea in the song. Go to measure 9. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. G chord. And then you got an A chord. This changes everything. Okay, that's a moment where you want to get that A chord clean, because that's going to take you up into the next section of the song, and that one chord turnaround basically. So hush, little baby, don't B7. You, and then E minor, cry. Okay, at E minor, and again that B7 is another place at measure 17. You might want to love that one just a little extra, because now you're going to go back into a new idea in the song. One of these mornings, gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the B chord skies. Slide up for a C, slide back. B7. But till morning comes, G chord, there ain't nothing can harm you. And And I wrote crescendo here, meaning you got to put some more energy into this. You want to be a little bit louder. Remember, you hear it all the time in the media wrong. Crescendo is not a place. You don't get to the crescendo. You go to in a crescendo. A crescendo is the activity of getting louder. You reach an apex, you don't reach a crescendo. You hear that all of the time, and it's using the word incorrectly. Crescendo is from quiet, less energetic to louder and more energetic. That process is a crescendo. When you get to the top, I don't know, you can call that whatever you want, the acme of your music. But the crescendo is you're going to start low and build. And so you're going to build all the way through 30 and halfway through 31. And then you can start diminuendo, which is then to bring it back down. Okay. But just be mindful when we use the word crescendo, we don't mean boom, we're at the top. We mean we're going to start building toward the top. Okay. So we got that A chord. With daddy and mommy standing, B7, by, that's probably the high point, by your side, A minor, E minor, B7, and if it's the second ending, then you would finish with another E minor. Okay, or go all the way up to this 0777. That's a really nice E minor to end it on. I'm not sure it's entirely an E minor, but it's pretty close. All right. Let's keep moving forward. Those are your chords. Chords are not brutal, generally speaking, but you do have a B chord in there. You do have possibly a barred C chord in there, but overall, you want to get all those weird. The E plus and the B plus are really critical on this tune to get it to sound correctly. All right, next thing up. Let's see who else wandered in here. Oh, hey, Patty, welcome in. And Christine is back from Yellowstone. Can you imagine how lucky? Yellowstone is one of the great places in the world, honestly. It is absolutely fabulous. All right, summertime. Let's play the melody. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4, 1. 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1. 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 4, 1. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, and then we would repeat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, measure 33, and then we repeat. So you can play down through 33, and then you go back and repeat from 1. Skip 33 on the second time through, and that's the melody. Now, I think the melody is pretty hard to play by itself. You can. It's much easier to play if you got somebody doing the chords with you, but if you're going to play melody, don't rush it. Just let things be. Those big old long notes are important. Summertime and the living it. You want those notes to last the whole time and to really get the sense of what George was after here. All right, now let's play it. Let's talk tough you very quickly. Start with your E minor. Okay, as always in tough U chord melody, just grab the E chord or grab whatever chord is the first chord, and a pretty good chance most of the stuff's going to be there that you need. Okay, so summertime. And then I just been sliding my ring finger back, but you could switch the two, melody and ring. Either way, whatever way is easiest for you. Grab the G chord, 0 3, and then take your middle finger and just don't move your ring finger, but just add your middle finger on the 3 up there, and then you've got that chord. Index, 3, and then 0 4 0. It sounds really weird because you got this 4 and this E are the same note. And at first I hated it when I arranged this. I was like, I hate that. But the more I played it, the more I'm like, that's weird. It's got this weirdness to it that I like in the song. And so I've got where I like it a lot. If you have a low G, you're probably not noticing the weirdness quite the same as if you're playing it on a high G. On a high G, that's a little bit heavy duty on the E note. Just play it a lot and you get used to it. It's kind of fun. And then end of measure 3, you get the diminished chord or augmented chord again. G chord at 4. B augmented at measure 4. Then go to measure 5, got an A minor. Put the 0, cat, and then this E augmented here. This is the only note that you're going to hear that's weird, so you want to make sure to hit your 4th string well. Hit the 3. Our jump. Then 3 0 strum 0 3, and then that 2 3 4. It feels an awful lot like an E minor, but it's on the wrong string. So take your E minor and just put it on strings 2 3 and 4, and then you'll get that B sound. Go grab the C, and then back to that same shape, and then 2 3 2. A couple of choices here. Either just put your bar on and put your middle finger there for the 2 3 2 3 2. You could also just do a G chord, but on the wrong string. So here's your G chord, and just move that shape up to the upper strings. Slide up to the 3. Now back to your E minor and measure 9. B augmented. G chord. 0 3. 0 3 3 0. 2 3. 0 4 0. And then B augmented again. G chord. Here's that moment. Make sure that this matters. 2 G chord with your pinky up on 5. Lose the pinky. Put it back. Slide up and grab 7 7 7. Hit the 10. And then 2 0 0 2. Jump back. Here's where I put that G chord on the wrong strings. Slide up to the 3. Turn the page. 0 0 0 4 0. 0 2 0 0. And measure 16. Partial E minor. I hit that 2 kind of hard in measure 16 because it's done, because it's end of the first idea or end of first verse or whatever, and then bum bum bums, and then strum into the B7. I'll let that ring out for just a little bit longer than it should probably, and then you got some melody. 2 2 3 2 E minor, B augmented, G chord, 0 3. 0 3 3 0. Hit the 2. 0 4 0. 2 3 3 or 3 2 2. 3 3 2. B augmented, Gary. G chord. Another B augmented. Hit the 3. Here's a nice A minor. Pinky. E augmented. Open. 3 0. 0 0 3. This is that B shape E minor on the wrong strings. Open 3s. And then back to the B chord. B7. 2 3. And then E minor. chord. 03, 0330, 040, 233, 0332, I should say, G chord. And then again, this A minor, don't start too loud. G chord with your 5. Hit 7 pretty hard. And make sure that 10 really rings out. And then 2002. 233. And I've got it noted on there to really hit that one. That's what that little caret is sitting there above there, to hit it pretty hard. And again, that B7 in the middle of measure 33. Give it a little extra love, because then we're going to turn around and go back and play the whole thing the second time. Let's jump into 34, just so you know how to end when we get there. E minor, B7, all 7s. Okay. I've been hitting a 0 on that top string, 0777, because I think it gives a little bit of a weird sound to it. Okay. Part of an E minor chord, but it's definitely not wanting to be there. And so you might think about hitting that 0 there. Okay, let's play it. This is in honor of going to Yellowstone in the summer. From the top. 1, 2, 3. Page 2. Let it ring and then go. To the top. Second ending. That's a good song. How many times do I say that in a week? Um, that's a really, really, really solid piece of music that you can play just as slow as you want to. And I think it's really, really quite lovely. So hopefully you'll enjoy playing that one a little bit. If the chords are too much, which I don't think generally speaking, I'm not struggling with them overly, which sometimes I do when we get to some of this more advanced jazz type music. Um, it feels playable to me. It feels like most of that's going to happen. Um, just the same sort of stuff we've been through quite a bit. And frankly, the two augmented chords, which are usually a nightmare on ukulele, are laid in there pretty well, where they actually work just as relatively easier shapes. All right, Renee's giving me a thunderous applause. She's giving herself a thunderous applause, I hope. All right, Moon River. Let's see what we got with Moon River. For those of you who are children, Moon River was made famous in the show Breakfast at Tiffany's. And if you haven't seen Breakfast at Tiffany's for a while, it's about a girl who has a whole lot of problems and a cat. And she does nothing but live her own life her own way. And she insists that the cat lives its life its own way, not understanding at all that that isn't how life necessarily works. And toward the end of the song, there's a very sad scene where it's raining and she's crying, and the cat is in the rain, and everything comes together, and it all works out just fine in the end. Not to spoil the ending, just know it's going to be fine. um, but in the movie, she is sitting on a windowsill playing a guitar, and it's a small guitar, so people think it's a ukulele, but it's not. And she starts singing Moon River, and the future boyfriend slash husband sees her, and he just falls in love with her because she's doing this. Um, what we don't necessarily notice is that when she's singing it behind her, there's actually a symphony playing and no guitar music whatsoever. So when we take a symphonic piece that we think is supposed to be played on a ukulele but was actually being staged as to play on a guitar, sometimes you end up with a tough song. This song is tough in three places. Three. Other than that, is reasonably playable, but there are three moments where you're like, I want to die. And there's one place I've been working on now for 15 years on this song. So um, better late than never. Movie title, please. Jennifer Shreya. Jennifer, the movie is called Breakfast at Tiffany's. This song is called Moon River, and they're both famous. All right. Jennifer knows everything, so she doesn't. He's giving me cred. All right, let's play it. Okay, first thing, you guys need to know. This is I think the second song I memorized on ukulele, so I've been playing it forever, and I do know that what I'm going to be giving to you is almost note for note exactly what I do. You obviously, I always want you guys to mess around and see if you can find a better way to do it, but on this song, there is no better way to do it. I have the very best version of this. Okay, so you start with your index on 3 and your pinky on 7. Okay, now we're just doing the intro here. Okay, and then you're going to slide your index finger up and add your middle finger, so you have 2 on 5s. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's a fairly iconic beginning to it, but I narrowed it down to those 8 notes are the exact correct 8 notes you need to let everybody know you're about to play Moon River. And so don't jip the third note, the 7, and then the high 5, the E and the D for you guys that are fancy. Make sure that those mean something. Right, that's what you're going for. And I always slide this index finger here. I always slide it up so that I get a little bit of whoop through there, a little bit of a bend, so it sounds pretty. Okay, now the rest of this is going to be reasonably straightforward. If you are a singer, your chords, for the most part, are pretty, I think, if you are singing this, I don't think there's anywhere where you're going to end up with something that's unmanageable. Moon river wider than a mile, right? And don't do what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm doing the ukulele thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, where everything sounds the same. Don't be that ukulele player, please. We have that ukulele player already. And the melody here is very pleasant. Almost not every note on here, but almost every note is in first position. I think got a couple of fives over on 32. Um, and then at the ending we go 5 7 5, but the whole song is mostly in first position, and you get lured into thinking it's going to be an easy song because he's basically taking a C major chord, C major layout, and dropping in a C major melody, and it's great. The problem is underneath that C major melody, typical jazz guys, they got to do something weird with the chords, and you're going to end up with the chords that almost feel like they're in G major underneath the C major story, and so it ends up being a lot more work on chord melody than it should be. But let's go through it. Okay, 0 0 3, 2 3, index on 2, pinky on 5, ring finger. Okay, sometimes I'll do, if I'm on a better quality ukulele than this one, so you can get that slide. Sometimes I do that, but usually I'm just, whoops. Okay, then this little motion here, 2 F chord with your ring finger on 2. This is going to come up a million times in this song. So F chord, you know how we usually put pinky on 3. This time you're going to put ring finger on 2, and it's going to be fine. And we're going to do this a bunch of times. So you got this F chord with the B on the top, and then a regular F chord. Put your ring finger on the 3, take it off, and then 0 0 3. I don't know how many times that comes up in this song, but a bunch. And so you want to just get comfy with it. Let it ring for a beat, hit the 0. There it is again. Now you got a major 9, you get a nice D minor, F chord with your ring underneath it. Okay, and then don't move anything, 2 1 0. And then E7, which we learned way back in the day in the kids' book, right? Index, middle, ring. Let it only one beat. You tend to want to let it roll for a ways, but it doesn't work. So you want to go get that 0 and then the other 0, and let that ring for a while. That's the one you got to let ring. And then 0 0 3, hit the 2 0, let it ring, go, hit the 2, 0 0 0 0 3. And then this is the hard part of the song right here. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how I think about it, and you should probably do the same thing. It'll sound great if you can pull it off. Got your bar on 2, just like the D7, middle finger here. So you got a regular plain old D7. Okay, what's that doing there in the C chord, in a C major song? I don't know, but it's jazz. Okay, D chord, your ring finger's got to go there. Okay, so it's really a 9th chord is what's really going on here. Okay, so you got that. Then you're going to lift up your middle finger, play that. Then you're going to go get an open D7. Then you're going to drop these 2 down to get your E minor 7. Then you're going to slide this back and lose your middle finger to get your A7. Add your 3 on for your ring finger on 3. And then go back to your D minor, and you've survived the tough part. Add your pinky to get this D minor 7th. And then switch over to a G7. Then you got some pretty notes here. Now, basically everything in the next little section is stuff you've already played. So measure 21, 0 0 3, 2 and 5. That weird little F figure that I just taught you. Again. To the G minor. To the E7. And don't rush this. Whereas G7, sing. F7, rainbows. And here's that little F figure again. Waiting round the bend. My F figure again. Huckleberry friend. Let it ride. And then moon, 2, 3, D minor. River, G7. And me. And then let that ride for plenty. And then 0201. And that's the, in my mind, the second hardest place is 0201 because you've got to get that in good timing to kick it over to go back and play the song a second time. Okay. Now, when we get to the end of 42, you go back to the top. Okay. The second time you come through, you need to have a highlighter at the beginning of 38 or you're going to miss it. Okay. The first ending is really long, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. The whole thing is one long piece of repeat there. So make sure you notice when you get to the end of 37, my huckleberry friend. And then the second time you jumped all the way down to 43. There's quite a bit of difference when you get to the end here. 43. Okay, so you got A minor with a 3. And then you go to bar on 5, pinky on 8, the Renee chord. And then lose the 8. 5, 5, 5. Okay, high G7, pinky on 7. Lose the 5 or lose your pinky. And then a nice C chord to wrap it up. And 2 C's. Like that. Okay? That's how we're going to do it. It's going to be nice. All right, we have time to play through it one time. Okay. Mike, hey, is Matt Garden going yet? Not really. The building is still not open officially to the public. But Mike, if you want to toss me an email, we might be able to work something out. They're really not wanting people in the building. But I have my ways. So yeah, if you want to toss me an email, depends on what you need and how and all that stuff. So, but yeah, toss me an email, Mike, and we can probably work something out. All right. From the top, I'm going to try to play exactly what's on the paper. Okay. Later this week, maybe I'll play what I normally play. Nice and slow. There's a lot of music. If you can knock this one out, you're in good shape. This is high level stuff here. 1, 2, 3. Two, three. Second ending. All right, G. Okay. So it works. The whole thing is really work. Now I'm playing it much slower than usual, but the whole thing is another song where you do not have to rush through it. Let the notes develop. If it says it's 3 beats for a whole note or 3 beats for a zero, let it be 3 beats for a zero. Don't try not to rush the song. It will come to you. It really will. Sandy's number one song on the accordion. It's pretty much everybody's number one song. Happy Birthday, and then My Spaghetti Monster, and then Moon River. So it's really number three on everybody's list. So, um, yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful music. So I have given you today. Be focused in on what you're getting. I have given you Mancini, and I have given you Gershwin. Okay, go ahead, and see if you can beat that. Um, we that's good stuff there, guys. And so hopefully that'll give you something to keep you from picking a fight with anybody today. And um, obviously, let me know if you're struggling or what doesn't make sense. But both of those songs, I think, are really well arranged, and I think really is like it just pulls out all of the depth of sound. Sometimes it's hard when you have these songs that we're used to hearing on. Um, in symphonies and in jazz ensembles and all this, sometimes it's hard to take and condense it down to fit onto a solo ukulele. But I think both of these arrangements actually work, and I think you would do yourself a favor by spending some time working on them. How about that? That's my way of saying, did you practice? Come on, practice once in a while. It's good for you. I do that at the orchestra sometimes. I don't know why I do that because it doesn't make them practice. So let's see. What else we got? Lindy, I have to concentrate or it blows up. It turns out it's funny. Having this thing memorized, it's much harder to play it from the sheet music. I'm like, oh God, right? And so it's funny how, uh, and I do recommend it. I've talked about it a bunch of times, but I do recommend find a song that's meaningful to you, and then work on it until you don't need the paper, and it becomes a different song. It really does. When I play this song, I'm not thinking about the paper. I'm not thinking about shapes. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just knowing my hands just know what to do, and I can really then focus in on expressiveness and telling a story and tonality and all of this other less tangible stuff. And so I think you do yourself a favor by picking a song here and there and just being like, I'm going to take this all the way to the end zone. By the way, Broncos tonight. For those of you who are not football fans, I have grown up in Denver, and in Denver, you are required by law to be a Bronco fan, and so I have been one since the day I was born. And they have done nothing but make me sad and disappointed, except for three times, right? And And it's been a rough 4 years, and I'm expecting this is to be year number 5. That's very rough, but nevertheless, here it is. It's on. So they're playing on TV tonight, and we also have ukulele orchestra tonight. Those of you guys that are members of the website, this is your opportunity to get something that's top secret, right? And so come join us. And if you're not a member of the website, by all means, get that way. It's cheap, and we work on speed drills. Where we're going to work on getting you where you are fast and where you are good and where you're on time and where you're doing exactly what you can do to get through this business of overthinking your mistakes, which we have a tendency to do when we're playing solo. We have a mistake, like, oh, I made a mistake. Back up, fix it, go on. That's the worst thing we can do. Well, not the worst, starting a world war would be the worst thing you could do. But the second worst thing you can do is trying to go back and fix mistakes, right? And when you're in an orchestral situation, it's simply not possible to do that. And it's really good for your brain to learn to let mistakes go. So if you can come around tonight, 7 o'clock Mountain Daylight Time, come around. We're working on, I don't even remember the names of the songs. Let's see. Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Something else, something else, something else. They're all going to be love songs for September and October, and so come hang out with us. It'll be fun. That's tonight. Uh, Also, if you live in Denver, they just canceled the stock show 115 years straight, and they just canceled next year's stock show. So shocking, shocking. Um, and I think that's it. Tomorrow, if you want to get a little jump on things, tomorrow we'll be doing Imagine and 5'2". 5'2" is another song that I have memorized, and the piece of paper that you have in front of you is almost exactly what I still play. So you might want to take a peek at those, and that's what we'll do. Okay, so that's what I know. I hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see some of you at baritone. I'll see a couple of you in guitar, and then I will see a whole bunch of you tonight, and we will continue the rock and roll. All right, let's see. So have a lovely afternoon. All right, let's see. Yeah, Renee, have a great afternoon. Jennifer, good to see you. Pauline, uh, thank you. That's very nice. Vic, I'll see you a little bit later. Kat, both are beautiful. Right? Really, they're both beautiful, aren't they? Seriously, we're doing some nice music. You guys picked out a nice group of 10 for our best of series, so thank you for that. Chris, good to see you. Jack, Diane, keep it going. Yeah, on to baritone. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, Lindy, see you tonight. Sounds good, Jennifer. What is a stock show? The stock show is this huge, unbelievably huge rodeo slash sell your cows thing that they've been doing in Denver since the 1800s, and it's unbelievable. It's supposedly the largest rodeo in the world. I don't know if I still believe that or not. It's pretty, but it is gigantic, and they canceled it. It's like, oh my god, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, Renee, mahalo to you. Have a great day, Fran. I'm happy to be. No, I want to kick the Denver people out. The non-Denver people, you guys are awesome. It's the Denver people. See, they pick on me. That's the problem, because I'm kind of mouthy. So they eventually they start picking back. So yeah, no, I want to kick you guys out. I want you to be there. What we want to do is make it where you can do something in your own neighborhood when they open the doors back up, where you can take ukulele out and turn it into something for your own community. And so yeah, I'm delighted that so many of you from around the world are joining in and doing some of this with us. So yeah, absolutely, Fran. Jacqueline, good to see you. It's a stupid shirt, but you got to wear it on when it's Monday Night Football. You got to wear it. Sandy, I'll see you tonight. Christine, tonight is right. Red is right. Red is right. Go back. We are against the Green Bay Packers here, so now I'm against you, Sandy. Oh goodness, easy. All right, have a good one, Jennifer. Evelyn, hasta luego. Nice. Diane, Carly sent you. Yeah, she did send me the recording. It was awesome, Diane. Thank you. I'm glad you guys did that. That made me super happy. All right, Terry. See you a little bit. I'm pulling the plug. Have a great afternoon, everybody.